Now please join me in welcoming the Chancellor of State Center Community College, Carole Goldsmith.
Hey. Well, good morning. Oh my gosh, there was a lot of who's in the house. I think there's a lot of people in the house. So good morning, everyone. Oh, come on. Good morning, everyone. Yeah. I'm going to put this up here so I don't have to hold it. What a good-looking crowd. I don't think I've seen all of you in one room before. This is good. Well, good morning, everyone. Let's give a round of applause to Rico. Was that wonderful? Hey, Don, can you hand me the clicker? Oh, all right. We'll give it up for Rico one more time, shall we? You know, on behalf of all the trustees, which I believe we have our board president with us, Trustee Nazarene Johnson, where are you? There you are. So on behalf of the trustees and your college administration and our students, I just want to say good morning and welcome. This is the first time that, since I've been here, that we've all come together. And I believe it was Rebecca Snyder said, well, we did this once before and it was horrible. And I said, well, thanks for telling me that. I have a low bar to hit today. Hopefully the breakfast food was good. It's a breakfast, I think breakfast, yes? So if any of you have been around me for a little bit, you know that I like to start off in a place of gratitude. And so if we could take just a moment to thank our students who helped usher us in, and if we could think about the people who put our breakfast together, the people who are working right now to work on our lunch, and the people who grew the food in the fields. So ladies and gentlemen, can we give a round of applause for those people who've helped us? You know, the last couple of years have been tough, challenging, to say the least. Some would say we've all experienced a collective trauma as a society. And when we look at our students, we see that. Heck, when we look at each other, we see that. You know, we've all been through a lot. And that's why, for me, it was really important to bring us all together, because I wanted to look at all of you and tell you how thankful I am of you and how proud I am. Because even though it's been frustrating at times and we've had conflict at times, we have showed up for our students and for each other. We've gone through tremendous amount of change. And let's face it, we all like to talk that we're change agents, but nobody likes change, right? There was an honest person in the crowd. Yes, nobody likes change. But we did, we changed together. And you know, these last couple of years, I saw some of the best in humanity. Some of the best. And that best was in you. You all showed up for our faculty. You showed up for one another. You showed up for our students. And there's no doubt that you transformed the lives of our students. While it was difficult and traumatic for all of us, it was definitely a transformational time for the students we serve. There is no doubt, and our trustees and I understand that the work that you do is complex and hard and emotional, and yet our faculty and our staff and our administrators do this work with fidelity and compassion. My colleagues and I and those on the State Board of Trustees understand the extraordinary work you do, and you do it well, and we're incredibly grateful for your commitment. And I'm honored to be here today to tell you, each and every one of you, that in person. As we continue that working together, I believe it's one of the reasons we're one of the best districts in the state. And I don't say that lightly. If you look at some of the data, the primary reason I believe is because we're focusing on our students. These faces. We're not seeing students drop like other places, even here in the Valley. Our students are staying on the path, and they're staying on the path because you care, and that you're showing up for them, and you're focusing on their education and their abilities to get to where they need to go. Our students feel this, and their families appreciate and respect this. I talk to parents all the time. They're so grateful for the experience that their son or daughter, their child is having here. And that's why we're trusted by the communities we serve. This is not advancing. Well, I'm still grateful. Can you let the guys know in the back that's not, we should be on slide 4. Technology. It's one of the challenging things still, right? Hey, there's our beautiful students. You know, it really is, you know, if you think about California, we are one of the largest and most diverse systems of higher education, the California Community College system. And I know that our system office, I had an opportunity again to speak with our new chancellor, who's from the Valley, Sonia Christensen, and she, like all of us, is working to break down barriers of racial justice and equality for millions of students in the state. Now, the CSUs and the UCs can think they're great, but when you think about the volume of students we serve, it's literally millions. And here at State Center, the largest community college system in the Valley, our trustees and all of us here are committed to building a community where faculty and staff and administrators are reflective of the community we serve, and we support a mindset and our policies that focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and access and success for our students. You know, it's an inaugural part of who we are to put diversity, equity, and inclusion at the center of our work, and dare I say also anti-racism at the center of our heart of our policies. It's our practice and it's our work. And together, we are driving a durable change of culture, not only here at State Center, but in our Valley. And that can be not understated. You might have heard about the DRIVE initiative in Fresno. That was because of this work that's being done here at our colleges. And we know that this work is working for our students. So I'm incredibly grateful that we're all committed to ensuring the equal education opportunities for all of our students and our communities we serve. And if you think about our history, we must do this because we have to change our future. It's also, I think, a recognition of the complexity of our present state, in our valley, in our nation, and it's a call to action for a better future. You know, embracing diversity means that we must intentionally practice acceptance and respect towards one another, and understand that discrimination and prejudice creates and sustains privilege for some while creating and sustaining disadvantages for others. You know, I purposely selected those 2 photos up there because I think both talk about who we are. If you had an opportunity to go downtown, we lit up the old Guarantee building for the first time in probably over 60 years during the month of June. With the colors of acceptance, with the colors of you belong. And then in July, we lit that old building with the beautiful colors of our country. Both can exist, and I believe that's what we're all working towards. So in order to embrace diversity, we need to acknowledge that there is institutional discrimination here and other institutions. And we must also understand that we all have implicit bias. All of us. And that our collective goal is, as written in policy and new ed code, that we're trying to eradicate and educate those elements so we can become better. You know, when you think about who we are as a community of individuals, who comes to save us, who comes to protect us, we're diverse. And I believe that investing in cultivating and maintaining a climate where equity and mutual respect mutual respect are both intrinsic and explicit by valuing individuals and groups from all backgrounds, all demographics, all lived experiences. And we're providing the wraparound services that they need to be healthy, safe, and successful. That's the work that you're doing each and every day. So can I give you a round of applause for that? You know, our students can benefit when we all learn together. It's a shared responsibility in creating inclusivity. In a larger community, we'll benefit as well if we could be a little more kinder and accepting of differences. Our economy will be better. In fact, I would argue we would be a little bit healthier and happier if we could just accept a little bit more. 10% happier, I'll go for that. You know, our commitment to diversity requires that we strive to eliminate those barriers to equity and that we act deliberately to create a safe, inclusive, and welcoming environment where individual and group differences are valued and leveraged for our growth and our understanding as an educational community. I believe that together, along with our classified professionals, our administrators, our board of trustees, and our students, we acknowledge and really think about the concept of diversity and inclusion, and we understand it's evolving. It's evolving. And that we must create a space for allow us to understand and grow together. This is our shared responsibility. It's not just the chancellor's job. It's not just the equity guy's job. That is everybody's job. So today, all are welcome. Tomorrow, all are welcome. And I hope you feel that today. You know, our students feel it. Our students have been transformed because I know that you've been working hard on your efforts to make sure people feel safe and included and welcome and like they belong, and that you believe in them and that you can see their future even though they can't sometimes, even though they self-destruct sometimes, that you're there and you pick them up and you keep going. We know that they feel that they belong because you know what you've done? We have surpassed, despite a pandemic, despite racial reckoning and political craziness and the divisiveness and the grumpiness of our world, despite all of that, you know what you all have done? That. 5,361 awards degrees last year, shattering all records. Yes, that's a flag waver right there. Yes, that is all of you putting your work together. 5,361 families have been changed. That's huge. That didn't just happen overnight. For the last 4 years, we have been working together to improve this, and look at that trajectory. It shows a journey of success. And every college is doing its part. Every college is doing its part. And so I need to talk a little bit about, for those new folks, you know, who we are. Demographics matter because this is our why. This is our why. And it's important if you think about, you know, where we're at. We're still not seeing our young men come back, but they're coming back, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But, you know, you'll see we have men and women here, and we also have non-binary. And I've actually had a conversation recently with somebody who said, I have to take a drink for this, hold on. Well, Doc, it's only 2%. That really doesn't matter. Yes, it does. It matters. This fall, we're slated, if our trajectory holds, to be over 33,000 students at our colleges. If you do the math, that's over 664 students. That matters. They belong. Yes. And we're all a Hispanic serving institution because it's our largest population we serve. And if you look at every demographic, we closely mirror our community. And this one's interesting. You know, I like this one because, you know, the majority of our students are going on for their degree and they're going to transfer, and we know that. But look at the ones who are undecided. They need your help. Dear Lord, help them get decided, would you? And of course, we have some that are career focused and they're moving forward, and we're going to keep talking about that. So I need to talk a little about student enrollment because it is how we pay the bills. So let's talk a little bit about how we did compared to the rest of the state. Well, the rest of the state, the pandemic, as we all know, and you've been reading in the papers, the pandemic really tanked enrollment. But we did better than the rest of the state. I'd like to think it's because you offer a value proposition that our students know and they see it. So instead of 18% loss, we only lost 10. So what does that mean? If you look here, this is, I know it's really tiny, we'll have the slides later. The bold print here, the bold print is really the pre-pandemic numbers. And the red numbers, yeah, we're in the red. The red numbers are what we reported last year on our 320 report. So really, we're down. We're down 2,745 FTS to be exact. But you'll notice those green numbers, there's hope. Right now, between comparing this year to last year, we're at 8.6% over where we were last year. That's a great way to be. We're heading in the right direction. And you know, that didn't happen by accident. The trend that's going upward didn't happen by accident. No, in fact, we came together. One of the first things that I did when I became chancellor is I got a lot of smart folks like you in the room and some outside experts, and I said, we need to look at the root causes of why our young men are not coming back. And so we focused on the importance of well-being. And each of our colleges, they too identified specific barriers and developed interventions. Because each college, it was a little bit different, right? So each college had different interventions. And guess what? It's working. Let me say that again, it's working. You'll see the bar chart behind me, 43.6% is where we had our young men before the pandemic, then it plummeted. Look, we're on the rise. That's because the interventions are working. We're seeing the percentage of our young men rebound. And this is something we should acknowledge. We should celebrate our counselors in the house. Woot, woot, counselors. Our outreach teams, our faculty who go to these enrollment activities and go out and do recovery efforts and go into the community. It's working. Young men are coming back. Okay, this is a really ugly slide, I know it. This is a snapshot from our data dashboard this Monday, and we're not done. This shows a comparison over the last few years about how many days we're out, because you know we start next week. This shows almost 9% above where we were last year. That means we're growing. So I think that those extreme registration events, those matter. Going out to the community, you talking to students, it matters. We are working, and it's coming back. And let me share another good piece of news. I include this slide about dual enrollment because it's actually recovered fully. Let me say that again. It's actually recovered fully from pre-pandemic numbers. And I believe this is an indicator of future college-going success because if they're taking college classes in the high school, they're going to keep coming to us. So for all of you who are involved in that, give it a round of applause. There's hope. There's hope. And we're at virtually every K-12 in the Valley, so that's fantastic. There's the numbers. Some people like to say, well, you know what, those kids aren't successful. The data doesn't lie. Look at that. 83% of our students, they complete a course because of you. Yeah. In fact, they do better than our regular college student. I don't know why, but they're doing better, so we'll take that. And let's just give our young students a round of applause because this is amazing work. 83%. Wow. So, how many of you are soccer fans? Woo! So I would be remiss because, you know, it's Women's World Soccer, it's real exciting. I have to talk about the arts and athletics. I love that photo. You know, the eyes of the world are talking about soccer right now, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the importance of athletics. I think we need to take a moment to recognize the pursuit of education goes beyond the confines of our classrooms. Athletics and the arts play a significant role in shaping and making people feel comfortable and fostering teamwork and discipline and creativity and resilience. Perhaps you might have seen some of the many faculty accolades when you walked in, but in case you missed it, we have amazing coaches here. And we have winning teams. Yes, give it up. I know Coach Robley, I saw her in the lobby. She's our state. She was named head coach of the year. Let's give it up for Coach Robley. Coach Stark and Coach Perkins and Reedley had the men's golf championship. Yes. And is CJ here or is he out running somewhere? CJ? Hey! Coach CJ ran the Boston Marathon and was the 4th American across the finish line. Hot dog. Woo! And I talked about 3 colleges, but guess what? You know, our board and your chancellor are committed to providing a robust athletic program at each of our colleges. So this year, women's soccer will be coming to Madera. I can't wait to see Maddie playing soccer on the field. I think that's going to be great. But seriously, our students really need these activities. Our community needs these activities. And the other thing that we don't talk about enough, and that's the arts. The importance of arts can't be overstated. In all of its forms, it encourages self-expression and allows our students to explore their emotions, ideas, and perspectives in a safe and caring environment. By exploring art, students can gain a deeper appreciation of our diverse experiences of others, and they can learn more about themselves and the world. And plus, it makes our world a better, more beautiful, joyful place. Art has the potential to bridge gaps and create connections and foster greater understanding and connections. We all go to concerts and you see people together from different religions, different political backgrounds, different walks of life. They come together for the love and appreciation of music. And I don't know if Dr. Cooper's here, but we have a Grammy-nominated person. Is Dr. Cooper here today? Dr. Cooper, he's like the guitar hero in the Valley. And then we also have Juan Guzman, who's bringing the love of theater to Selma. I mean, come on, where's Juan? And then, of course, Steve Norton's artwork is going to be displayed at our airport. So many wonderful arts. Yes, give that up. And, of course, big news, I know you all know, but Lee Herrick made incredible news being selected by our governor to be California's 10th Poet Laureate. He's out doing that work today, but let's give him a round of applause. So I want to take it a step further. I'm going to ask if all the coaches, all the artists, all the choir, all the writers, all the people who love music, create beautiful things, please stand. If you teach in the arts or you teach in athletics, please stand. Stand, stand, stand. We love you. You are doing it. Yes, yes, we love you. Yes. You know, and you might be sitting there, well, I teach English and math. That's good. Yes, it is. And we love you too. But what we also know is that our athletes and our students, they're excelling in the general education as well. So all of our athletes, all of our coaches, all of our artistic folks, they're helping elevate our academic awareness for our students. Students who embrace the athletic self or their creative sides, we know they pursue and they excel in academic. So I just want to tell you again, for all of you who are in this, you are helping our community, our college be vibrant and create a sense of pride in our shared achievements. When our students do well, we feel proud. So thank you. Talk about feeling proud. We're having some construction projects going on. I don't know if you've noticed. Our college campuses have been tore up from the floor up, as the kids like to say. And what I've really enjoyed about all of this, I took this one photo of the Reedley building because it talked about what we promised and what it actually delivered. And we are delivering on those promises in terms of our buildings. This just gives you an idea of our 2 oldest colleges, Reedley and Fresno. And this week, we're having a community event at West Fresno. The campus is opening up. So So that's good, yes. On Friday, we're having a ribbon cutting at the Child Development Center in Reedley, yes. We're excited these buildings are coming online, and we haven't forgotten that Clovis, you're under construction right now. That building is coming up, right? And this fall will be the first time that our students in Madera will have full access to the Academic Village too, and we're excited by that. And if you think about the buildings, we have to talk a little bit about, well, who's going to be in these buildings and staffing. And I want to share a little bit of stuff. And again, I'm going to have all these slides shared with everybody so you have an idea of, because the print I'm about to show you, spoiler alert, is really small. So, what we're trying to look at is the ratio of employees and where they're at, because I've been at every college and everybody's like, Fresno gets too many, Clovis has too many, Madera has too many, we don't have enough. I got the memo. So, what we've done, well, I'm going to share what we've done over the last 2 years to try to help. What we do is we look at the FTS, which is in the far right corner. That's the FTS that each college earns. For example, Fresno City College, it's our largest college, they earn over about 55% of the FTS. They generate that revenue. And Madera, being our newest, they generate about a little over 9% of the overall revenue. So one metric is try to make sure that your revenue and your staffing are kind of in the same ratio. So this kind of shares where we're at. We have 2,400 employees, and the center talks about all of the employees, right? And you can see Fresno is now kind of where they should be. That doesn't mean you don't need more, I understand. Clovis is still a little understaffed. Reedley may be a little overstaffed, but I know you need people too. And Madera is probably right where they need to be, right-sized right now. Again, knowing we all need people. Now, when you see this, I know what you think, because I've been hanging out with faculty for a number of years. You say, yeah, that's just classified. Well, let's look at classified. So again, the right column is the FTS generation, and then the center column is the percentage of classified professionals for each of your colleges. And you'll see you're pretty close, with perhaps Reedley being a little, what we would say, overstaffed. But again, if you talk to people at Reedley, they would say, no, we need more, and I understand. This is just one metric of looking at things. When I first got here, it didn't look this good. It was a little more callywumpus. That's a technical term. Let's talk about what you all in this room really want to talk about, and that's faculty. So if you look at the number of faculty, and you look at, again, the FTS generation, which doesn't change, but if you look at the percentage of faculty based on that revenue, you'll see that some are a little bit higher, some are a little bit lower, but we're still pretty close to that ratio. And let me tell you how we got there. Over the last 4 years, our district has hired 168 I wish it was faculty, 168 employees. So, the yellow is last year. That was a big year, especially for Fresno City College. And we'll get to that in just a minute. Last year, we hired 40 faculty, and that was to help level set. Remember I said when I first got here the ratios were a little off? We were able to help those ratios get to where they needed to be. So this is the breakout, 98 new faculty over the last 4 years. So I know what you're thinking, yeah, but what did the district get? Okay, I was on a campus, I know what it's like. We added, over the same period, 21 classified professionals, 3 managers. Clovis Community College, because we know that was a growing college. You can see by year the number of faculty that was added, the number of classified, 29 faculty over the last 4 years, for a total of 46 new employees. Fresno City College, again with that big bump last year, have 35 new faculty over the last 4 years, for a total of 44 new employees over the last 4 years. Reedley College, because we had to right size them, sorry Reedley, 9, but you still got some, so that's good. Dr. Buckley's like shooting arrows at me right now, I feel it. But let me share, we also did something else last year. You may remember the enrollment recovery faculty. Remember that? So this was in addition. We added 6 tenure track positions, and 10 temporary full-time faculty. I'm gonna explain this a little bit more. So you'll see each of the logos, and it shares where each college was at. So Fresno City College got 3 full-time tenured and 3 full-time temporary. That's important to watch because this next slide's gonna be fun. 3 full-time temporary. Clovis had 2 tenure and 3 full-time temporary. Madera got 1 full-time temporary and 2 full-time temporary. Reedley, sorry, didn't get any tenure, but you had 2 temporary positions. So what we did is we looked at those 10 instructional one-year temps to see, did they have an impact in being able to help us meet our enrollment recovery goals? Because remember, we're still 2,745 FTS short, and eventually we're gonna have to pay the bills. So we wanna make sure we're getting those students in. Well, guess what? It worked. So this year, this year, I'm proud to announce that we'll be releasing 22 new instructional faculty positions. So those 10 temporary, non-tenure track positions will now convert into 10 tenure positions because it showed that students are coming and we can make that a tenure track position. So that breakout of the 10, Reedley now will get 2 tenure full-time track. Madera will get 2 tenure track, and Clovis and Fresno will get 3 tenure track. Because we can. You're welcome, Jerry. Here we go. And then we're also taking a little bit of a bet here and releasing another 12 full-time, non-tenure instructional positions. Now, I'll say this is a bit of the 22 new faculty and the additional faculty we had last year, you need to think about, we're still under where we were for the pre-pandemic, but we're overstaffed. That eventually will have to figure out how we're gonna do this. So I'm, as they say, do any of you play poker? Okay, so I'm betting, like they say, betting on the come. So I'm hoping that these students will literally come because I believe in the power of our instructors. I believe in the power of faculty. I believe in what you do each and every day. And what this means is we're investing $2.9 million in this investment in your ability to do your job well. So, 22 new faculty, on nearly $3 million. That's looking pretty good. So let's talk about what's ahead and how we're looking ahead. I want to think, as we're coming together, we're looking at the 4 colleges will be going through their integrated facilities planning. Because I know we're building new buildings, but we still have old buildings that need some love. Many of you talked about how you'd like new faculty offices, or how our students need a new student union, or affinity space for our students to hang out. All of those things need to be planned. So we're beginning those work now. So in the next few months, you'll see a lot of meetings about integrated planning and our facility planning. But before we began that work with accreditation coming up, we wanted to look at our values, mission, and vision. And I just have to, again, say I'm incredibly grateful to this group. You'll see people, your names up there. Every college was involved. These individuals, they came together and they met every month. I think they might have even met bi-weekly a couple times, elbows and knees, and they cussed and discussed, and they looked at data, and then they talked with management, and then each college had these community forums, and they had students coming and to give them, what is it you like, what do you want to see, what do you want to see more of, what do you value. We did that at each one of our colleges, and students and community members came out. We did it at each college, and faculty and staff and students showed up, and they told us what it is they'd like to see, what is it they aspire to, what do they value. Every college. And we're not done. But this is what that wonderful committee came up with. So at the center, when I looked at that, I kind of had a Homer Simpson moment. Well, duh. Of course we're student-centered. Everything we do here is for our students. But look at those values. Community, stewardship, innovation, being equity-minded, looking at social justice, and of course, kindness. So what I'd like you to do now, because I love what our committee's done, but do any of you have phones? Can you take your phone out? Take your phone out. Okay, here we go, Don. Make sure this works. Going to the next slide. Whoa. Okay. So these are the values that are kind of new to us. We've always been student-centered. Kindness, community, stewardship, innovation. I'm curious, if you take your phone out and you look at that little code. Now don't pull up Netflix. Okay, there we go. I'd like to know which one resonates with you. Which one do you feel is your most important value? Which one speaks to you? Is it innovation? It's too small, Don. Okay, the other thing we could do is go to poll.com/Carole Goldsmith 1222. Don, can you make it larger? Aw. No. What, do what? Oh, you got to zoom in on your phone, they're saying. No, that's not saying. Okay. Okay, the other thing, you know what we could do? We could do it old school. Here we go. Okay, yeah, it's supposed to pop up on your phone. So let's do it this way. We'll do it old school. Do you still have your flags? If you believe kindness is your primary value that you vote as must, let me see kindness. How many of you like kindness? Okay, got about a third for kindness, okay. How many of you think community should be the core value because everything we do is for community? All right, seeing another, there we go. Stewardship, being good stewards of our best product out there, which of course is our future students. How many of you think stewardship? People in the back, okay. There's the steward folks. And now I have a feeling everyone's gonna like this one. Innovation, who doesn't wanna be innovative? Round of applause for innovation. Okay. Now let's see how big of a crowd value we can get on this one because we've been talking about it for several years. Equity-minded, social racism, social justice, and ending racism. How many are for that? Okay. Thank you for bearing with me as we go through our technology glitch. We'll get this out to you. Again, I want to thank these individuals who came and worked every day and put these things together. And I would be remiss if I didn't share this part right here with you. This is the final draft of the district-wide vision mission that was developed by the Vision 2030 Commission. This draft was submitted to the Communication Council yesterday, and representatives of that group, that's classified professionals, our students, and our faculty, academic senate, and our labor partners all came together, and they said they're going to be releasing this as soon as they can, so all of you can have feedback on this final draft this coming few months. So as you can see the bold sentence there, that first sentence is the vision. Can we just, again, thank our commissioner folks who come together, because wordsmithing something like this is beautiful and brilliant. Please give them a round of applause. It is absolutely, I have an opportunity to go see other colleges through accreditation. This one is probably one of the best written ones that I think reflects who we want to be and who we're striving to be. So again, if you're a commissioner, if you're on this commission, could you please stand up so we can thank you? Stand up, don't be brave, don't be shy. There we go, stand up, stand up. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. And then I want to end by saying, I firmly believe that there's no way that we could be student-centered without first meeting the needs of the people who work here. And do you agree? Right? Put the oxygen mask on you first, yes? So I know that many of you saw a number of photos when we first walked in. We need to recognize and celebrate our amazing faculty. The faculty that you saw on this, they were recognized by their peers and by outside organizations and even by the governor by being excellent in their field. So again, I want to thank you for all the work you do every day. I want to take a moment to celebrate the incredible work that you've done and that you're hopefully going to do, and I know you're going to do. So could we all give ourselves a round of applause for doing this work? And there's some new people. If you're new to State Center and you've been hired in the last, say, 18 months to 2 years, would you please stand? Stand up. If you're new, stand up. We got a lot of new people here. Stand up. Yes. Welcome. Welcome. Stay standing. Stay standing. For those of you who just received tenure this year or last year, did you just receive tenure last year or this year? Stand up. Stand up. You received tenure. Wonderful. Thank you. All right, now for the rest of us who've been here for a while, we need to make sure our new employees are successful. It's part of our shared responsibility to share with them how we work together for the betterment of our students and the communities we serve. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a rest of your day. It's going to be great. We're going to have some fun. Some of you will like it, some of you won't, and it's okay, because I'm just glad you're here. And I hope you like the breakfast burritos. We'll have a nice lunch. Stick around for lunch, because there's going to be some exciting announcements as well. So now I'm going to give it back over to Rico. Thanks, everybody.